Hi, I'm Wilder. I never thought I'd be the guy telling a story like this, but here we are. 6 months ago, my life was exactly what I'd worked for. Great job at the architectural firm, nice apartment in the city, and Ella, my girlfriend of 3 years who I was planning to propose to next month. Wilder, you coming to Jake's thing on Friday? Damon asked, leaning against my office door frame. Damon had been my best friend since college, blunt as a sledgehammer but loyal to the core. Yeah, I told Ella we'd both be there. She's been acting weird lately, though. Keeps canceling plans, I replied, clicking save on my latest design. Damon's eyebrows shot up. Weird how? Late nights at work, new friends I've never met dodging my calls, the usual stuff they write songs about, I guess. Listen, man, Damon said, lowering his voice. Jasmine saw Ella at Riverside Cafe last week with some guy. She didn't want to say anything, but what? Ella meets clients for coffee all the time, I interrupted, already feeling a knot forming in my stomach. Jasmine said they looked close, like holding hands across the table close. I forced a laugh. No way. We're talking about Ella here. I'm just telling you what Jasmine told me. Maybe talk to her yourself? Later that evening, I called Jasmine, who worked at the same law firm as Ella. I didn't want to be the one to tell you, she said, her voice gentle. But they meet at least twice a week. His name's Marcus. He's a client, technically, but Ella's not assigned to his case. How do you know all this? I asked, pacing my living room. The legal community's small, Wilder. People talk. And I saw some texts on her phone during happy hour last month. I'm sorry. What kind of texts? My voice sounded hollow even to me. Jasmine hesitated. The kind you don't send to a client or a friend. Maybe it's all just Wilder, Jasmine cut in firmly. I wouldn't be telling you this if I wasn't certain. She leaves work early on Tuesdays and Thursdays but stays logged in remotely. She tells everyone she's working from home. But she comes home late those days, I said slowly, pieces clicking together like a terrible puzzle. Says she's working late. I'm sorry, Jasmine repeated. You deserve better. I hung up and sat motionless, staring at nothing. The front door opened an hour later and Ella walked in, smiling like nothing was wrong. Hey, babe. Sorry I'm late. The Peterson case is killing me, she said, kissing my cheek. I looked at her, really looked, and saw a stranger. How's Marcus? I asked quietly. Her smile faltered for just a second. Who? Don't, I said. Please don't. Don't what? Wilder, what are you talking about? Her voice was perfectly confused, eyes wide with practiced innocence. I know, Ella, about the meetings, the texts, all of it. She laughed, but it sounded brittle. Have you been drinking, or is this some kind of weird joke? As she denied everything, something inside me turned to ice. The woman I loved wasn't just betraying me. She was standing in our home, looking me in the eye, and lying to my face. So she just denied everything? Damon asked the next day, sliding a beer across his kitchen counter to me. Completely. Said I was paranoid, that Marcus is just a client she's helping outside official channels. I took a long drink. Then she got mad that I was spying on her. Classic Darvo, said Jasmine, who joined us. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Textbook. What did you say? Damon asked. Nothing. I slept on the couch. She left early this morning before I got up. Jasmine leaned forward. What are you going to do? I need proof, I said finally. Real proof, not just suspicions. I have a friend who works at the Grand Hotel, Damon offered. That's where they meet sometimes, according to office gossip. Yeah, I finished. Can your friend confirm? I can ask. But what then, Wilder? What's your endgame here? I stared at my beer. I don't know yet. 2 days later, Damon's hotel friend confirmed that Ella and Marcus had a standing reservation every Thursday in a suite under his company name. Corporate account, explained Damon's friend Carlos when we met at a coffee shop. They've been using it for months. I'm on front desk rotation, so I've seen them plenty. They don't even try to be discreet anymore. Do you have records, something I could use? I asked. Carlos shifted uncomfortably. Look, I shouldn't even be telling you this. Hotel privacy policies are serious business. Carlos, this is my life we're talking about. I can't give you records, he said firmly, but I can tell you they're booked for tomorrow, 2 p.m., room 718. Do with that what you will. The next day, I called in sick to work and stationed myself in the hotel lobby at 1:30. At 1:52, Ella walked through the doors, wearing an outfit I'd never seen before. 5 minutes later, a tall man in an expensive suit followed. They didn't acknowledge each other in the lobby, but took the same elevator. Can I help you, sir? asked the receptionist after I'd been sitting for nearly an hour. Just waiting for a colleague, I lied. At 4:17, they emerged separately again. I followed Marcus to the parking garage and watched him drive away in a black Audi. Then I approached his car, took photos of the license plate, and went home to do some research. Marcus Donovan, successful real estate developer, married with 2 kids. I called Jasmine immediately. I need your help with something legal. You found proof? She asked. Enough to start, but I need more, and I need to know my options. Meet me at my place in an hour, and Wilder, don't do anything stupid. When I arrived, Jasmine had legal pads spread across her dining table. I've been thinking about this, she said. You have several options depending on what you want. I want her to lose everything, I said flatly, just like she was willing to throw away everything we had. That's the anger talking, Jasmine said carefully. Let's focus on protecting you first. What are my options? Document everything, gather evidence legally, that's important, and consider that Marcus's wife might be an ally here. I looked up. His wife? Jasmine nodded grimly. She deserves to know too, don't you think? I spent the next week gathering evidence. Timestamps from the hotel visits, credit card statements showing expenses I hadn't known about, phone records with hundreds of calls to Marcus's number. Then came the hardest part, contacting Rebecca Donovan, Marcus's wife. Who is this? She answered suspiciously after I'd called the home number I'd found. My name is Wilder Jensen. You don't know me, but I think we have a situation in common. What situation? Her voice was guarded. Your husband and my girlfriend. Silence stretched for 10 long seconds. I'm hanging up now. Please don't, I said quickly. I have proof, hotel receipts, photos. I'm not trying to cause problems. I just thought you deserved to know. Why should I believe you? She asked, her voice suddenly weary rather than defensive. Meet me, public place, your choice. I'll show you what I have, then you can decide what to do. She agreed to meet at a cafe the following day. Rebecca Donovan was elegant, composed, and absolutely furious once she saw my evidence. 19 years of marriage, she said, hands shaking slightly as she looked through the photos. 2 children, and he's been doing this for at least 6 months with Ella, I supplied. I don't know if there were others. Oh, there were others, she said with certainty. This isn't his first indiscretion, but it will definitely be his last. Her eyes met mine. What do you want from this, Mr. Jensen? Justice, I said simply. And for them to lose what they were willing to throw away. Rebecca's smile was cold. Then I think we can help each other. That evening, I finally confronted Ella directly. She was working at her laptop when I placed the folder of evidence on the coffee table. What's this? She asked absently. Everything, I replied. The Grand Hotel, Marcus Donovan, all of it. Her fingers froze over the keyboard. Wilder, don't bother, I have copies of everything. Phone records, hotel timestamps, credit card statements. 6 months, Ella, 6 months of lying to my face. She closed the laptop slowly. It just happened. It didn't mean anything. 6 months of deliberate deception doesn't just happen, I said, my voice steady despite the rage and hurt churning inside me. I made a mistake, she cried, tears welling up. We can work through this. I love you, not him. Funny time to remember that. Did you love me last Thursday in room 718 or the Tuesday before that? Please, she whispered, reaching for my hand. I'll break it off with him. We can get counseling, start fresh. I pulled away. There is no we anymore. You can't just throw away 3 years over a stupid mistake. Her tears turned to anger. Everyone deserves a second chance. Like the second chance you gave our relationship every time you met him, or the second chance you gave me by coming home and lying to my face. She stood up, pacing frantically. You don't understand. Things with us had become so predictable. Marcus made me feel alive again. And that justifies betraying me? Betraying us? No, I don't know. I got caught up in something exciting and it just spiraled, she pleaded, her voice breaking. I never meant to hurt you. But you did hurt me, Ella. Every secret meeting, every lie, every time you came home pretending everything was normal, those were all choices, deliberate choices. What do you want me to say? That I'm a terrible person? Fine, I'm awful. Is that what you need to hear? I shook my head slowly. What I needed was loyalty, honesty, basic respect. What are you going to do? She demanded, suddenly alert. You can't tell anyone at my firm. It would ruin my career. You should have thought of that earlier. By the way, I met Rebecca Donovan today. Lovely woman. She's meeting with her divorce attorney tomorrow. Ella's face drained of color. You had no right. She had every right to know, I countered, just like I did. I'll deny everything, she hissed, panic rising in her voice. It's your word against mine, I smiled grimly. Not anymore. The aftermath unfolded faster than I expected. Rebecca filed for divorce the next day, citing infidelity with evidence that couldn't be denied. Marcus's firm had strict morality clauses. Apparently, sleeping with clients' significant others violated several of them. He was placed on leave pending an ethics investigation. Ella wasn't faring much better. When her firm learned she'd been having an affair with a married client and falsifying her hours, they launched their own investigation. They're considering a formal reprimand from the Bar Association, Jasmine told me over coffee 3 weeks later. She might keep her license, but her reputation is shot. No one will want to work with her. Has she said anything to you? I asked. She tried to claim you were making it all up out of jealousy. That story fell apart when Rebecca Donovan's attorney presented their evidence. Jasmine hesitated. She's been calling you, hasn't she? I nodded. 27 missed calls in the past week alone. You should get a restraining order, Damon suggested when he joined us. Those voice messages she left are definitely threatening. Already done, I confirmed. The hearing is next week. The judge granted the restraining order after hearing the increasingly unhinged messages where Ella alternated between begging for forgiveness and threatening to ruin my life. The final one had crossed a clear line. If I can't have my life back, maybe you shouldn't have one either. 2 days after the hearing, Ella showed up at my new apartment despite the order. 5 minutes, she pleaded from behind my chain door. Just give me 5 minutes to explain. You need to leave, Ella. You're violating the restraining order. Please, she sobbed. I've lost everything because of you. My job is hanging by a thread. My reputation is destroyed. Because of me? I interrupted. Not because you chose to cheat, lie, and manipulate for months? I made a mistake. Why can't you forgive me? Because some things can't be forgiven, I said simply. You should go before I call the police. You've ruined my life, she shouted, pounding on the door. I called 911. When the officers arrived, they found Ella still outside my apartment, still shouting. The violation of the restraining order earned her a night in jail and formal charges. Meanwhile, Marcus wasn't faring any better. Rebecca had secured not only a divorce, but a substantial settlement after her attorney demonstrated his pattern of infidelity. His firm completed their ethics investigation and terminated him. His professional network, built over decades, had fractured as colleagues distanced themselves from the scandal. Marcus tried to approach me outside the courthouse, Rebecca told me during one of our occasional check-in calls, begged me to drop the alimony request, said he couldn't afford the payment since losing his job. What did you say? I asked. I told him he should have thought of that before he decided our marriage vows were optional, she replied with satisfaction. The judge was not sympathetic to his sudden financial concerns. 6 months later, life had found a new normal. I'd been promoted at work, moved to a better apartment, and even started dating casually again. Ella had lost her job, her professional reputation, and eventually moved to another state after receiving probation for violating the restraining order. Marcus had been forced to sell his family home and luxury cars to meet his alimony obligations. He'd started a small, independent practice but struggled to attract clients with his tarnished reputation. Do you ever regret how things played out? Jasmine asked during a dinner with her, Damon, and Carlos. I considered the question carefully. I regret that I wasted 3 years with someone who could lie so easily. I regret that I didn't see the signs earlier, but I don't regret making sure there were consequences. To justice, Damon raised his glass, and to better days ahead. We all clinked glasses. As we continued our evening, I realized something important. The best revenge wasn't just watching Ella lose everything she'd taken for granted. It was rebuilding my life into something better than before, something she would never be part of. You know what I've learned through all this? I said to my friends. Trust has to be earned, not just given. And when someone proves they don't deserve it, you don't owe them endless chances to hurt you again. Amen to that, Carlos nodded. Standing up for yourself isn't just about revenge, it's about self-respect. Have you ever had to make a difficult choice between forgiveness and justice? Sometimes the path forward isn't about reconciliation, but about having the courage to walk away and demand accountability. If my story resonated with you, let me know your thoughts.